Hey, I wanted to take a moment and talk about the outline. Since we haven't been able to be together in class, I haven't had an opportunity to explain it to you more fully. So I wanted to take a minute because I'm getting some questions about that. So with that being said, let me share with you a screen on Moodle so that you can see I have put something in here for you. If you go to today's date, in the explanation, there is a link to a Google document there that will give an explanation. I'm going to pull it up over here and show you. I want to explain the outline for a minute using an outline. The goal of the paper is to be able to communicate what you're learning, what the Old Testament says about God and what God has done. So to do that, we're going to include 20 important people, places, or events. The final paper will be worth 100 points. So it's important that you do this. Here's how you're going to get a good grade on the paper. I hope this will help you to understand. For this next week, you're going to make an outline in which you are going to select these four individuals. To be direct, you do not have a choice. You are going to talk about Adam, Moses, Abraham, and David. You are also going to talk about these three places: Canaan, which is the promised land, which becomes Israel. You are going to talk about Egypt, and you will talk about Jerusalem. In addition to that, you're going to write about these three events: the fall in the Garden of Eden, the Exodus, which is the departure from Egypt, and the conquest of Canaan. And then finally, you're going to write about these three concepts: what's monotheism, sovereignty of God, and the Messiah. And just to give you a little bit of an idea of what you're going to do for the outline, you're going to take each one of these items and you're going to make an outline. So to give an example, let's just look at Adam. Who is Adam? Well, you're going to write a bullet point. Who is Adam? You could use, where did this take place? What did Adam do? What's happening? And frankly, then why is all of this important? That's what you're ultimately going to do in your term paper. You're going to explain who Adam is, what took place around his life, the context, why did he do what he did? Why is this important to us? And you'll do this for 20 ultimate things. To get a passing grade on your paper and this outline, you are going to cover these 13 items. Now, let me be specific about this. That means you're going to pick 7 other items from the Old Testament, either people, places, events, things, and you're going to also write about them to make a term paper. I'm just going to kind of give you some thoughts for me. I would love if you began to weave this all together. Your paper and outline could be set up much differently than what I have done here. You might talk about Adam and the Garden of Eden together and the fall. Those concepts are going to work together. What I'm going to be looking for is that you have covered these 13 items plus 7 more in your paper. And so those might all work together, which they probably will. And what you're doing is following the theme and giving a good picture of what you're learning and how you're learning it. But you have to cover, to get a passing grade, you have to cover these 13 items. And to get better than a passing grade, you have to then choose 7 other items that work into the grander narrative and story that you're explaining and why it's important to you, why they're important, and then you're going to get a great grade. For the outline specifically, you're going to create an outline. It's not a whole paper, but what you want to do is you want to begin to work out how you're going to weave this story together. So if I were doing this, I would be saying, I want to talk about Adam. And so I'm going to take these things down here and give you just an example in a new place. I want to talk about Adam. And so I'm going to paste this here. Adam, who was he? What? And here's what I want to do next. I want to talk about the Garden of Eden, because Adam ties into that. So in covering those things, I'm going to weave together the story of what's important, what I'm learning, and the why. I want you to think about this. I want you to weave it together in your own words, how it's important to you. It is not just about putting the content in there. I want to see that you've given some thought to these different things. So with that being said, I hope that's helpful.